Hello everybody, my name is B-rad and welcome back. Today we are here for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix here on F1 24 Manager for the My Team Career Mode. And before we go any further, I just want to say if you are so far enjoying the content that you're watching, I really would appreciate if you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as I really would appreciate it if you're new around here, and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video from me, as I do upload every day. I also stream on Twitch. Yeah, English is hard. Sorry. I also have an Instagram and TikTok as well. They can go follow me down below. I will have the playlist for the F1 My Team Career Mode, the Road to Glory Career Mode that I'm doing as well, and the ERS F1 server playlist as well, because we are doing a race tomorrow. The ERS F1 server, I really would appreciate it if you watch all those, or not really watch necessarily, but get to keep up with pretty much keep up to date with what has happened over the last, like, that's about a week or two now in the ERS F1 server. So yeah, I really would appreciate it if you go down there. And also, there is a post for the Road to Glory Career Mode for the next team that we're gonna do. It's either Williams, Alpine, or Haas. I really would appreciate it if you took a vote down in the YouTube description. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it going. Let's get to business, shall we? So, like I said, last time was the Bahrain Grand Prix. Our drivers finished 14th and 16th. Very good races from our drivers. Very good. Last time out, Red Bull went out to win at Bahrain. Ferrari just came short of being first in the Constructors' Championship. They are behind for Red Bull by a point. Ferrari's ahead of McLaren by 14. McLaren's ahead of Aston by 13. Then I got Mercedes, who's behind Aston by a point. And then Mercedes ahead of everybody else by 6 points. Max Verstappen won the Bahrain Grand Prix and leads the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc ended up getting second place and also ended up taking the fastest lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz was able to take the last spot on the podium. Norris had to unfortunately miss out on the podium after taking pole position. So, there's that. Sergio Perez coming home 5th after the Grand Prix, so things didn't really go well for Sergio Perez. And here's a look at the rest of the grid to see where everybody else finished. Again, 14th and 16th, pretty good race. The DHL Fastest Pit Stop Challenge, Red Bull leads that as well. So there's that. Also taking a look at the other championships that pretty much took on Bahrain as well. That being F2 and F3. Here's the F2 Championship. Prima Racing continues to lead the way. Or pretty much leads the way now in the F2 title. And it looks like Prima Racing has both Oliver Behrman and Kimi Antonelli in the top 2 spots in the Drivers' Championship. So it looks like it's going to be Oliver Behrman versus Kimi Antonelli the entire season. So we'll see how it goes from here. And here's the rest of the look at the grid. Also, Marty and Isaac are tied for 3rd at the moment in the championship. Dennis and Rinamo, I think that's how you say, are tied for 5th. And Jack Crawford and Zach O'Sullivan, who is tied right now for 9th in points. So 11 drivers scored in Bahrain for F2. And here is the F3 Championship. Prima once again leading the subdivisions here. Also, what up, Moose? How you doing? I'm doing good. Not much, just doing some streaming. So yeah, again, Prima leading the F3 Championship. Trident last in the points. Lamblad leads the F3 Championship in the drivers. And here's a look at what's looking like in the Drivers' Championship for F3. And if you see your favorite F3 driver, F2, or whatever it is, you know, here you go. So with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the mail and see what we got cooking. So taking a look at the post-race data, looks like our car is not really good when it comes to medium speed and DRS effectiveness, which is going to be quite effective in the other races. So we'll see how it goes. So we were actually expected to finish last at Bahrain, but our best finish was 14th, so we were above target, which is pretty good. The best strategy for Bahrain was also 2-stop, so I was kind of expecting that. Also, an update on Haas, who is one of our rivals this season. Their car has better medium speed performance than ours, so they'll be in a better position to excel next race. Alright, I'm back. I just had to deal with something real quick. So either way, both of our cars passed inspection on parts, so pretty much everything passed inspection. Again, their expected result would have been last on the grid, but we managed to massively outperform those expectations, so we'll take it. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Pierre Watch accepts our contract for next season. So we're gonna have him around for 5 years. We're gonna be paying him $4.5 million for each of those seasons, and the breakout multiplier is 0.5. So we will go ahead and actually confirm this offer, or confirm hire rather. So we also have scouted Peter Bonington as well as Marcus. Pretty much two of the best kind of engineers in the field. Technically top 3, but Marcus is kind of better, honestly, than GP. But I don't know. So now the question is, as far as drivers, was looking through the drivers, I think either last episode or I don't know. But I'm kind of interested in picking up George Russell at the end of next year. Since both of our drivers are on expiration contracts for next season. So we'll go ahead and scout Russell. And we will also go ahead and... who else do we... we could, scout Albon. Sure, let's do it. I don't know if he'll be any good doing that, but we'll see. So we'll go ahead and scout Albon, Russell here. Because I am kind of interested in getting Russell. So, actually, I might get him after next year. Pretty much next year, we're getting Russell, I think. On top of that as well, pretty much we got positivity all around when it comes to suitability for the team. They're going to be an overall improvement for us. As well, they also fit in our budget, so we'll go ahead and propose contract. So we're going to give Marcus an early contract here, give him a 5-year deal. We're going to give him $1.5 million to work with. So he'll be working in car 1 for 5 seasons. He'll be paid $1.5 million for each year. And we're going to give him a week to think that offer. So we'll see how that goes. And I guess while we're at it, getting good engineers, we might as well get Bono, who has a 95 rating in communication, 91 in feedback, 90 in composure. So we are going to go ahead and get him because he's about the same same suitability as Marcus. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing for him. So we're going to be paying Bonington just a little bit more money than we would like, but hey, it is what it is. He is a champion race engineer after all. So we're also going to give him a week to think about the offer. So if he does accept this contract, it will cost us $400,000, just a little over $400K. But honestly, I'm not too worried. so we'll go ahead and just offer the contract. I'm not too worried about 400,000. So we'll see how it goes, because we're looking to also get an overhaul in the staff department. So I might as well go ahead and do that. And Marcus's ratings actually is 89 for communications, 89, feedback 86, composure 94. So he has pretty much the highest composure when he's highly enthusiastic. So we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at the training schedule. We're gonna have to get rid of some of these activities for Saudi Arabia, because our pit crew is kind of not doing well when it comes to pit crew is kind of not doing well when it comes to fatigue, but we're going to be working on it. So I think this will do it right here. I think that'll do it right here. Maybe we can get a full week of this in there. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually get this thing going. So we're going to be setting up the pit crew training for our pit crew members. Oop, my bad. Did not mean to do that. So there we go. So I think we're just going to leave the, honestly, I think we're just going to give our pit crew members kind of the 3-day off week, as we are kind of giving them a full week of racing. So we might as well go ahead and just give them that weekend off before China. So let's see, do we have anything else to go over? Yeah, by the way, the reason that I scouted both Bono and Marcus is because one of our engineers is pretty much leaving after this season. Or now will be leaving, but yeah, there's that as well. As far as upgrading our facilities, we are going to be upgrading the helipad just to earn a little more of that money, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's go ahead and keep going. Race simulator is done upgrading, and speaking of the race simulator, we'll go ahead and upgrade that. We also have response required. ATR period is now available. And here it is, our team, or sport director, is now ready to sign the contract. So we're going to be giving him 5 seasons. We're going to pay him $3.5 million a year. And we're gonna have to pay a small amount of 1.2 million to replace Poller, who is our current sport director. So we'll go ahead and sign him. And here is Diego from Ferrari. He's gonna be coming to the team starting next year for 5 seasons. We're gonna be paying him $4.3 million a year. So, and once again, we do have to pay a small amount of 1.2 million to get this actually to happen. So that's because, again, we're gonna have to buy some contract money from this. So yeah, hopefully they're worth it, which they are gonna be worth it. All right, I think that's all we got for now. Tour center is up and ready. Construction's done. We'll go ahead and upgrade that. And now we're gonna move on to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend. Hooray! So as you can see, our drivers are now happy. They're more or less happy because we have upgraded our facilities. We have signed new staff members. 3 of them to be exact, about to be 5. Because we are looking to replace these 2. So yeah. So yeah, I think we're good to go for Saudi Arabia for race 2 of the season. let's go ahead and get it going. We're going to pretty much put them in the expectation of finishing 18th. They are kind of expecting us to be last because the car is kind of dog shit, but we'll see how it goes.
Tension is boiling as we head into the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We're on the shores of the Red Sea, the shade of Jeddah's skyscrapers. This might be a dream setting, but as we know, in Formula One, not all dreams come true.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. But as it's only round 2, there's still plenty of time for that to change.
Our weekend action starts here.
True that. Sorry for interrupting the cutscene there a couple times there. Anyway, so for Mick Schumacher and Antonio Giovinazzi, as far as their setup, so we're actually going to go ahead and give them the following setup. So here's going to be Schumacher's setup, which is this, by the way. This will be Schumacher's setup. So we'll give Schumacher 22 laps, give him a pretty good amount of fuel here. And here's Giovinazzi's setup for this Grand Prix in particular. And, yeah. So here's Giovinazzi's setup. They're also going to be hards. And this is, again, his setup, Schumacher's setup. Once again, we are bringing them on the hard tires, so we'll see how everything goes here. And let's go ahead and get ready for FP1 here at Saudi Arabia.
Green, green. It's not fully ready, okay?
Alright. 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 Alright, Schumacher is now 100% ready for the race weekend for his setup. And so is Antonio Giovinazzi, so now they will pretty much be done for the rest of the weekend. Very good. Alright, so both Giovinazzi and Schumacher head to the garage. And there it is for Tonio Giovinazzi. He'll go on softs. And here is Mick Schumacher. He is done. He'll go to softs. And we'll go and release them out. Alright. Giovinazzi, why are you cooking your engine, bro? Why are you cooking your engines? Just why? Like, bro, why? Why are you so addicted to cooking my engine like that? Like, bro, you are not him. Alright, and there is the checkered flag for FP1 here at Saudi Arabia. And taking a look now on board with Giovinazzi, as he is about to get to the finish line on the soft tires. And now Schumacher is going to do the same. So it looks like Sergio Perez quickest here in FP1 so far. Yep, Perez quickest in the session for practice 1 here at Saudi Arabia. Russell 10th in the session, Hamilton 11th. And then once again our drivers are at the bottom 2 on the grid. Alright, let's go ahead and get ready for FP2. Second practice session here of the weekend. And yeah, let's go. We're gonna go ahead and save. And let's go to practice 2.
Green.
And there we are. We are now underway for our second practice session of the weekend. So we'll see how everything goes here. Alright. Lando Norris so far quickest in the second practice session. He is in the garage right now, so we can't really get an onboard visual of the British driver. So, There's that as well. Alright, our drivers are heading down the pit road, and here is Lando Norris. On board with him. Let's do the driver cam. Here of Lando Norris, quickest driver in the session.
Stop in our box. We're gonna stop in our box.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and put our drivers on the soft tires for their second stints. Alright, there we go. Alright. Giovinazzi, what are you doing cooking your engine, bro? You need to stop doing that. You know, no wonder why I'm brother, cool it off, mate. You are not him. You are not him, brother. You're overheating the engine. Brother. Brother is increasing the wear of the... Thank you. Thank you. At least your German teammate ain't doing that. God. So stupid. Like, come on, Antonio Giovinazzi. What are we doing, bro? Schumacher, I just spoke about your Italian teammate of not pushing. Thank you. Alright, looks like we're at the end of the session for the second practice session. And Carlos Sainz fastest here in FP2 for the for FP2. Kevin Magnussen 10th, Russell 11th, very good. And our drivers at the very bottom of the grid, also very good. And we're going to go ahead and simulate FP3, and we will go right on into qualifying, where we might struggle a lot.
Welcome everyone to qualifying. This should be a good one.
Jeddah's high-speed street circuit is rather prone to yellow and red flags during qualifying, as drivers and walls often meet. Strategists will be looking for the perfect gap, but need to make sure drivers get their lap in.
Now there's a driver we've been talking about quite a bit. Karun, how will they be feeling today?
Now this is a driver with confidence, and that's clear from their performance today. But will that confidence pay off? We'll have to wait and see.
You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
Ah. Interesting. So we are now ready to take on the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix qualifying. And we'll go ahead and show you the results that took place in FP3. So here is the FP results. Max Verstappen was quickest in FP3. Tsunoda 10th, Stroll 11th. And Giovinazzi 20th, our German driver, finished in 22nd for the session. So things are not quite running high. 83% on both cars for the engine side. However, Giovinazzi has been wearing out that gearbox quite a bit compared to the German.
Green, 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 green.
We'll go ahead and let both Giovinazzi and Schumacher out early here in qualifying to see what they can do with the tires as far as lap times. Coming off of the final corner for Giovinazzi and Schumacher. Let's see what Schumacher or Giovinazzi. Let's see what he can get. 1:27.7, and what is this going to be? I think that is a 27.8, I believe. 27.8. Not bad for the German. Yeah, 27.8. Not bad. So it looks like no traffic for the moment. We do have Hamilton coming up, though. Don't know where he's going to be, though. And there's Hamilton. See if that affected either of them. It did look like it affected Schumacher a lot more than it did Giovinazzi. And here comes Giovinazzi coming off now the final couple corners. Pretty much off the final corner now. Let's see if he can get to the line any quicker. And he doesn't improve. How about Schumacher? Does he improve? No. No improvements from either driver. So it did slow down Schumacher or Giovinazzi as well in Sector 3 with Hamilton. And same thing with Schumacher's time. So they did get held up by Hamilton in Sector 3.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we need an extra softs here. Looks like Giovinazzi has less tires than Schumacher. This race, though, only needs one soft tire for the main Grand Prix strategy, so we'll see how everything goes. So we could lose up to 3 spots. Yikes, I don't think it's going to work. Sure, let's go ahead and push them out one more time. See what kind of lap time we can get from either of them. Looks like we'll get traffic probably from Valtteri. No. It's going to be a clean road. No improvements from either one. Schumacher's 15th on the table right now. Giovinazzi is looking to be the first one out. Nope. Oh, it was Schumacher at the last second. Rough. And Charles Leclerc was quickest in Q1. It was the last one in. Daniel Ricciardo was the last driver to get in, and Mick Schumacher just off of Daniel Ricciardo's time by 14 milliseconds. Schumacher just could not find the time he needed to get around Daniel Ricciardo to get into Q2. The times are pretty close, though, from all the teams that are not so good. Schumacher, Giovinazzi, Gasly, Sargent, and Bottas do not advance to Q2. And Max Verstappen does grab the pole for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with Perez right next to him on the front row. And Ferrari 3rd and 4th, and McLaren 5th and 6th. So Magnussen, Ocon, Albon, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Alonso did not advance to Q3. So that is interesting to pretty interesting to see from there.
The drivers are getting ready here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, preparing for 50 flat-out laps under the lights.
Jeddah Street Circuit certainly makes the high speeds of F1 racing a thrilling affair. But even a world champion can be caught out in between the narrow walls, just as Max Verstappen found out in 2021.
Jeddah Corniche circuit is hot and high-powered, demanding speed for the straights and a high grip level through corners that are tight to the barriers. Starting tyre choices will be crucial here, with teams ever mindful of opportunities that a safety car could give. It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Alright. And we are now getting ready for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's see how it does here. So we're going to put 25 for Giovinazzi as far as pitting. And I say about maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So I say about here for Schumacher. So we're going to lower Giovinazzi's fuel and Schumacher as well. So there we go. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and race here at Saudi Arabia for the second round of the season. We are starting 17th and 19th, so we're already meeting the goal with Schumacher.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams, and it won't be long until we get this race underway. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
Just sitting inside the points places, they need to defend well and look to push hard where possible.
And it looks like we're good to go. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Alright, lights out, away we go. Max Verstappen is going to lead at the line. Perez on the hard tire. Ricardo hards. So we got some interesting strategies going on. We got a hard tire that's being used. And we're going to see who's going to lead it here after lap 1. Perez is going to hold the field up. It's going to be a battle between Leclerc and Verstappen. Verstappen will be the one to lead it at the line at the end of the first lap. Here comes everybody out of the final corners onto the second lap. Leclerc at the moment does have the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And it looks like nobody did much better than the Monaco driver.
Good job.
We move up almost side by side with Ocon. And not going to be enough for 14th for Schumacher. He'll have to settle for 15th. And Giovinazzi, he'll go up to 18th after lights out. He only has moved up a spot since lights out for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it looks like we could be in contention for some points here in this race. Wasn't really the case though in Bahrain. And moving up to 13th, almost 12th now. Going into the first corners. Still holding off Ocon for 13th. Try and see if we can get around Daniel Ricciardo, the Australian. Seems like we can't do it. Here we come, battling for 11th. Up ahead, Ricciardo currently has the spot over Hamilton. And it looks like Hamilton will have 12th for the moment being. And there's a crash. Ocon, he's out of the race. And there's a safety car. A virtual safety car, excuse me, as he crashes here in Saudi Arabia. On board with him. And looks like he locked up. Just hit the wall. And that will be a DNF.
And look at the team there. They all knew what that moment meant.
That is a DNF for the Frenchman driver. And looks like strategy will get changed up a little bit. Do we pit or do we stay out here? I'm actually going to take a look and see if we can come up with a better strategy. If we were to pit this lap, let's see. Let's say if we had an extra medium, could we make the strategy work? So I say about, I don't really know, to be quite honest. Nah, say we gotta have a medium and... One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, 4. 1, 2. Let's see how much slower. Yeah, that's like 8 seconds slower. How about Schumacher? If we were to pit this lap. I wonder if... Yeah, the strategy would be the same, essentially. So we'll see if everybody stays out. Everybody's going to stay out here. Alcon's out of it. He's out of the race, so that'll bump Giovinazzi up a spot. And virtual safety car ending. And we are back underway. And we are going to lose a spot to Kevin Magnussen. But we are going to get the position back from the Haas driver. Now we lose it again. We're going to move up back to 13th. And hopefully we get to keep it for real this time, as we are going to try and catch up to Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo, who are ahead of us. We are kind of cooking the engine up a little bit. We'll see how everything goes here. It looks like Albon, Bottas, Gasly, and Joe pit early. So I think that's when the strategy changed. It looks like Magnussen, Sargent came in. And some drivers are now deciding to do a two-stop strategy. We're going to keep it going here on the one-stop. Yeah, everybody's changing their strategy up. It did affect the way this race was going to go. I think we can still keep the one-stop going. I just think that we might... Oh, Ricciardo has a fault. And red flag is out for the Grand Prix. Who does it involve in? Who does it involve in? It looks like it's Sargent. He's out of the race. See what happened here. Ooh, and he spun it. Ooh, right in the fence, too. Onto the track. And debris also on track. So that is going to change strategy now if that virtual safety car didn't. So we basically get a free pit stop. So we are already in the points. So we're 9th and 13th here at Saudi Arabia. So 30 laps of the Grand Prix, we could go to the hards. Yeah, I think we can go to hards for the rest of the Grand Prix. Now, it's not recommended, but I do say that the hards will be better for the rest of the Grand Prix, I do say. Now, obviously, I wish we didn't have to rely on the hard tires, but we will rely on them if we need to. As we will have now less than 38 with, well, we'll have less than 30 to go, and here it is, lights out, and it's back underway. And Alonso didn't get a good start, and here comes Giovinazzi to take the spot away. And everybody's slowing up, coming out of the corner. Giovinazzi will grab 12th away. And how about this? Mick Schumacher gets around the 7-time champion off the corner.
And it was Mick Schumacher involved.
This is a shitty angle. Look at that. Like, you don't even see the car in front. I mean, yeah, you get to see them in the rear, but you don't see them in front of them. More or less, I was in front of the... I was more or less control the rear view mirror, but... Or the angle of the rear, but... And now DRS is online. So we do have the possibility of getting some points here in Saudi Arabia, considering we're now on the hards. There are a few other drivers, though, on the hards. We have Stroll, Piastri, us, Alonso, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Bottas on the hard tires. So it looks like as though that everyone might have to do another stop here. It looks like guaranteed, I think, that it will be another stop for some of these teams. And our boys are going to be cooking the engine up a little bit. More or less, I think it's dirty air, if anything. Carlos Sainz grabs the fastest lap. He does lead the Grand Prix here at Saudi Arabia. Safety car. I think I just saw it right there. Safety car. Both cars have crashed, and it involves Bottas.
Now this was at turn 1. Not a lot of wiggle room here. Oh, that's quite an impact between them. The teams will no doubt be very keen to establish the full extent of the damage.
And it looks like Bottas, major damage to that front wing. Who knows what it could be for the Sauber. And it looks the same. Front wing for both Saubers. This is not what they wanted. Both cars, front wing damage. Now we're coming to 20 to go. Time penalty for Zhou Guanyu has been sent. And Zhou will stay out. Bottas in the pits for mediums. He will now make it to the end of the race. The question is that now Zhou will go on the hards. I don't know why Zhou waited all this time to go to the hard tires. And look at Antonio Giovinazzi cooking the engine. That engine is not lasting forever with that kind of heating on the engine. And another red flag comes out. There's Zhou Guanyu, spins it around, hits the wall, just like Sargent did earlier. So we got no safety cars because of an incident like this happened twice now.
You can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
Yeah, I think Zhou has had by far the worst race than his teammates. That's 3 cars out of the race. 1 came in the result of a virtual safety car, 2 of which now have come in the red flags. So it looks like we will go to softs, if anything, at this point in the Grand Prix. There's no reason you would go to mediums this late in the race, and now we're seeing a hard from Ferrari, and I believe that is Sainz or Leclerc. Indeed, it was Leclerc, and now it's lights out again. And away we go. Most of the field is on softs. Can we get a good position here after the red flag? 15 to go. This time by. On board with the German of Mick Schumacher. We're not going to be able to get around the British driver. Russell, or Sainz now, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He is on the softs. Schumacher right now 12th in the result page at the moment. Very tough one for Mick Schumacher. He's now up to 11th. He is just a spot behind from getting his team its first points in F1 history. He's back up to 11th, fighting George Russell to defend. And he's not going to get past. Daniel Ricciardo actually got around George Russell in a safety car. It's out. Safety car's out. The question now is, do we have enough time for racing at this point in the Grand Prix? I think we got to come in. I think that's a red flag. No, it's a safety car, and no one's going to come down pit road. But only us, in particular.
Yes, we have. We've had a crash. What happened there?
And there's Alonso hitting the wall. I don't understand how that's not a red flag. I was expecting red flag. Because if you're going to red flag 2 of the DNFs when they're on track, you're not going to... What? So now we just lost positions. As a matter of fact, Schumacher lost 7 positions from that pit stop. I thought it was going to go red, to be honest. But no, it needs to go green now, actually. And our drivers are overheating the engine a little bit. And now we need these drivers to be pushing said engine as well, which is going to even overheat our car even further. And now we're going to go back to green. We have no other choice but to cook the engine now. Very frustrating for Mick Schumacher, who was just about to get in the points. I don't get this field whatsoever. I don't get it. The AI would be way too... Bro. Why? Why did all of you stay out? I don't understand. I don't understand it. Schumacher's going to come home 18th after being P10. Leclerc's going to win the race. What the fuck?
Lando Norris, currently on our screens, heads back to his team.
A 5th place finish ensures they're taking away a fair few points from this one.
And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
And finally now the drivers can relax after an eventful weekend at the Saudi Arabian
That-
Grand Prix.
I don't know if there was anything I could have done differently. I don't know. I'm struggling to find that answer. The answer to the question.
Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their
What-
way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
I think we're going to lose that spot anyway, I
Okay
feel
then,
like,
and
but
a big thank you to everyone for joining us this weekend here in Jeddah.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
okay, I have so many questions. Why did Schumacher's battery get so cooked by the time we were done with the first lap of using deployment on the ERS? That's my first question. 2, why did all these guys stay out? Why? And also, why did a red flag not come out for that incident in particular? Come on, bro. There were if all 3 of those wrecks were on track, at least 2 things should have happened: either a safety car or a red flag. There was no stack up in either incident, by the way. I would get Sargent's incident because there was debris on track. I get that part. But Joe didn't have too much debris. It was more or less in his lane. So you could argue that the race could have went under safety car when Joe wrecked. Now, when you got Alonso wrecked and nobody's stacked up, why are we... Like, from the previous incidents, that should have been red flagged. From the previous incident we had, car on track, there's debris on track. Caution, red flag, right? No. They went through that whole shit under safety car, bro. I'm not mad I didn't get points. It's just the way we lost the opportunity of getting points. You know what I mean? Like, Schumacher was 10th. And I thought the idea was to get better tires because their tires would be garbage by the time we even have the opportunity to pass them. So I thought we would be able to pass more cars and get points for both cars, right? But no, they were still passing us back. That's how bad our car is, bro. They are passing us back after we pass them under DRS. So, that's interesting. Leclerc wins the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz does get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Goes 3rd once again. Max Verstappen comes home 2nd. Russell gets the last points. And Giovinazzi went up 7 positions after lights out. And poor Mick Schumacher, who had the opportunity to get points, just couldn't get there because of unfortunate circumstances. And we had 4 DNFs from this Grand Prix. Very unfortunate for the German. And Leclerc now leads the Drivers' Championship after this race. Lance moves up to 7th. Tony Giovinazzi moves up to 13th. Schumacher now moves down to 16th. Bottas moves up to 17th. Gasly up to 18th. Ocon goes all the way down to 20th. Hamilton 9th. Russell 10th. Interesting. And Ferrari does now lead the Constructors' Championship going into Australia. We do move up 7th, though, in the Constructors, so it was a good race for the team, but not for our drivers, though. Drivers and teams are 2 separate things. We do move up a position Constructors, but that doesn't mean that it was a good race for everybody. So, Red Bull down to 2nd, Ferrari up to the front. Sauber and Alpine swap, as well as us and Haas swap positions. And we do get a point, though, from our driver of Antonio Giovinazzi. I believe it was the recent stop. So we do get a point in the DHL Fast Pit Stop Challenge. RB moves up to 3rd place. Then we have Sauber moving down to 9th. Williams moves up to 8th, so very good for them. And yeah, that pit stop pretty much gave us an opportunity to get a What? Huh? How did Schumacher DNF? But we're also getting what? Okay, whatever. We do get the money from both drivers. We finished 18th. I don't know what you're talking about. Team Hub gets an upgrade. We'll let that slot. We'll just move on. And then we got the helipad to come in as well for the upgrade. And we got some responses, some responses that are required, or emails that require a response from us. So yeah, that's gonna do it here at Saudi Arabia. So yeah, that's gonna be that. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and end it here after Australia before we move into the Australian Grand Prix. So with that, guys, I really would appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoy this episode. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss another video from me, as I do upload every day. I also stream on Twitch every day. And speaking of Twitch, we're actually streaming the RS F1 server race at Monaco tomorrow afternoon. So I really would appreciate it if you would follow me on there. And I do have an Instagram and TikTok. I do post there occasionally every week. So I really would appreciate it if you follow me on there as well. I do have the playlist of this series, the Road to Glory Career Mode, and the post to vote on for which team we do next, which is either Alpine, Williams, or Haas. So I really appreciate if you go there and vote. And also, again, if I haven't said already, I do have the RS playlist ready for you to watch, in case you want to watch it before the Monaco Grand Prix. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys in the next episode where we go race at Australia. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace out, everybody. Ciao.